enjoy the weekend. Labor Day. I always look forward to it. It's another day of recreation, and that's what it's supposed to be because folks in this country work awful hard. But there is a story that has developed that the corporate media paid no attention to. I bring it to light this morning here on Ed Schultz News and Commentary, brought to you by Communication Workers of America, Alliance for American Manufacturing, BioGreen Clean, and the iSave team. There's a thing that's called walking the walk. You can say you support something, and you can put aside all political risk and calculation and go out and do it. That's called walking the walk. That's exactly what Bernie Sanders did on Friday in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Number one, over 2,000 people showed up. That's the second largest crowd in this election cycle in Iowa. That's significant. Number two, you have a presidential candidate who walks the walk, walked with the workers who were picketing outside a plant in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Ingredion is the name of the company. They're an out-of-state company. They've got the workers working without a contract. The contract has not been signed. The workers are threatening to strike. So they're picketing at the Penford Products plant. The Bakery, Confectionery, Tobacco Workers, and Grain Millers Union Local 100G. They're outside picketing, and who's in the line with them? Bernie Sanders. That's walking the walk. That's a guy that's willing to put it all on the line against the corporations. The anti-union folks are going to line up against Bernie, and he's not going to kowtow to them. He's not going to kiss their ass or anything like that. That's the realism that this guy has brought to this campaign. He walks the walk. Now, there have been times where we have seen politicians say one thing and do another. Now, if you're an Obama fan, I'm just going to give you fair warning. You're not going to like what I'm going to tell you right now, but the fact is I can back it up. That may pique your curiosity. On Labor Day yesterday, the president gave a speech in Boston talking about unions and how important they are. And let's document that there's no way that Barack Obama would have been reelected without union help in Ohio and in Michigan and in Pennsylvania. It would not happen. Mitt Romney would be your president. It was the social networking. It was the door-to-door. It was the boots on the ground. It was the money. It was a lot of things that unions put in, and Barack Obama was their choice over Mitt Romney. And Barack Obama was a no-show in Wisconsin. And he has the nerve to go to Boston and talk about the Republican Party and how they're attacking workers. Let me remind you, when these workers were being attacked in 2011 in Wisconsin, Barack Obama, through the counseling of David Axelrod and Robert Gibbs, Obama was a no-show because he did not want to get into the political fight. They said it was a state issue, which is total bullshit. Now, this is the president speaking at a rally in Boston yesterday.
What we're seeing from them is this constant war against unions, a constant attack on working Americans by weakening worker protections, undermining workplace safety, gutting your ability to save for retirement, preventing you from forming a union. I mean, this is a party that says it wants to rebrand itself. I'm going to quote them here. They said they want to be the party of the American worker and the party of higher wages. Well, that's great. But think about it. They oppose raising the minimum wage. They're doing everything they can to bust unions. And then they want to claim to be the party of the American worker.
So now that you're not running for re-election, Mr. President, are you now apparently willing to come out and list all the things that Scott Walker did to AFSCME in Wisconsin and how union membership has been decimated and attacking voices in the workplace is exactly what he did? But back then you were silent. Barack Obama, when it comes to unions, is a phony, a 100% phony. For him not to jump into Wisconsin years ago changed the landscape of what workers are facing today. We've got 26 states that have had right-to-work legislation passed. And where is Obama? On Obama's watch, unions have gone backwards. Yet he goes out on Labor Day and talks this crap. Here's more crap from Obama.
One candidate, he is bragging about how he destroyed collective bargaining rights in his state.
He should. He did.
And says that busting unions prepares him to fight ISIL.
So, okay, I've heard enough of Obama because I know who Obama is when it comes to collective bargaining. I know who Obama is when it comes to the Employee Free Choice Act. I know who Obama is when it comes to standing up in front of the cameras when the country is focusing in on 100,000 protesters outside the state capitol. Obama was a no-show. But I can tell you a story of Bernie Sanders in front of 2,000 people in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, who walks with the workers and talks about corporate greed and says we're going to stand together and we're going to get this contract and we're going to do everything we can for working families. You know, for Obama right now on Labor Day in Boston, oh, hell, it's just a big joke about what the Republicans are doing. Mr. President, you're right in there with the Republicans. Oh, by the way, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is the absolute worst trade deal this country could ever be involved in, every single union in this country is against it, and Obama, you're pushing it. I know where Bernie Sanders stands on it. I don't know where Hillary Clinton is, and I also know that Joe Biden needs to come clean. Now, Biden's out on the campaign trail in Pittsburgh yesterday, or he hasn't announced yet. And let me just say this. The issues are different today than what they were in 2012, in 2008, 2004, and in the 90s. Union membership is under attack. Workers are under attack. And there is absolutely no question that Joe Biden has been a good ally to unions over the years. But now we're at nut-cutting time. And now we're on the verge of doing a trade deal that is going to gut the middle class in this country even further. Joe is still good for the rally, and Joe still sounds good at the rallies.
There's a simple correlation. Build labor, we build America. Build labor, we build the middle class. And folks, let me tell you what I mean by middle class. It's not a number, it's a value set. To be middle class means you have a chance to own your home, not just rent it. It means you can send your kid to a park in the neighborhood and you know they're going to come home safely. It means you're going to be able to send your kid to a school, and if they do well, they want to go to school after high school, they'll be able to go. And you'll be able to pay to get them there.
It sounds great. It sounds great. No one's arguing with any of that. But what we're arguing with is that this vice president has gone out on the campaign trail and also worked the halls of Congress trying to make this, quote, pivot to Asia, which the corporate media won't cover. The Trans-Pacific Partnership is a trade deal that will involve 12 countries that will gut the middle class so bad. In fact, Richard Trumka is on record as saying if they do this trade deal, we won't need any more trade deals. That it's going to be a total race to the bottom. That this trade deal is flawed on so many levels. That's why I spent so much time covering it when I was doing cable news. So the bottom line here is we hear all the right things on Labor Day. But what we don't hear is a total commitment and somebody walking the walk. Obama never walked the walk. It's time for Joe Biden to walk the walk, and Bernie Sanders has walked the walk.